Also, I would like to thank you guys for tuning in to Providence Tarot. My name is Kendrick, and I will be giving you your reading today. Follow me on Instagram. My name is NYC Kendrick, also Kendrick NYC. I have another Instagram account that's just for all of my culinary creations, and that is the Tongue Pop. And of course, follow Providence Tarot. The weeklies will be coming out soon. And this is Virgo, March. Hi, Kesha. My camera's so far away from me today, so I can't see. And this is March 2019 for you guys. How was the Virgo full moon for you? Mine was very interesting. It was so creepy, right? So the day of the Virgo full moon, what happened? I'm gonna get to shuffling your cards. The day of the Virgo full moon, it was like the first day of Pisces season as well. So I experienced this young woman on the train, on the subway in New York City. She was singing opera, and there was an older gentleman who was being very insensitive towards her, and he started making all of these rude comments, and he was just kind of like being very like inappropriate, kind of like boasting, just kind of being like that. Going through my awakening really rough. Well, you know what's going on right now is that that full moon really shone some light on some things for the Virgos, right? It kind of like took you out of your comfort zone a little bit. It made you aware of some things. It illuminated some things. There were some cycles that were completing. And some of you guys might have felt a little bit uncomfortable with what it illuminated just because of, it being the moon and then it being in your sign and the moon really wanting to go through these different cycles of emotions, these evolutions of feelings, and constantly revisiting feelings that have changed from different past experiences and things like that. Whatever it is, it's definitely made you more aware of something that has changed. It did. I've learned a lot, and yes, I was a bit uncomfortable, of course. Yeah, so, this energy that just showed itself up for whatever reason, some of you might be dealing with a fire sign. It could be male or female, but this energy is masculine, and then it's also fixed, so it has like a Leo sentiment or a Leo sensibility to it. There might be some 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 things going on with like ego, pride. There might be some respect issues that are going on here. Let me just clean my camera off. I feel like it's a little blurry for some reason. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it's just the glow or something. Anyway, you guys, yeah. So, you could be dealing with someone that might be a little bit overwhelming and forceful. Maybe they could insist on bringing a certain level of energy or passion to a situation, or just present you with that type of passion or that type of energy, and you might just be a little bit overwhelmed by this person, or you might be overwhelmed by a responsibility that you may have in terms of a project or something that you have to do. You might feel like you have to put on your big boy, your big girl panties and try to get this thing done. Or this could be a very significant person in your life that's going to bring about some kind of creative change by way of their authority and whatever power that they might have, that they might be able to assist you with. Anyway, let me go ahead and shuffle the cards because stuff just started happening. So I want to hear from you guys how your full moon was. I know a lot of you guys were probably going through it. Also, there was a weird happening with me in New York City where like this guy just kind of like made this violent threat out of nowhere and then went about his way. That was full moon energy that night as well. That happened the same day. It was like when I got on the train, that thing happened on the train. Everybody started giving the girl money after she went off on this guy. She literally chewed him up and spit him out, and we watched him lay there as she left the train. Anyway, speaking of Pisces season, when we saw the disrespect that he showed her when she was just trying to practice her craft, she was making herself very vulnerable. She was sacrificing a part of herself for, her own creativity in some subconscious, some hidden part of herself that needed to be expressed. And so the moment that she lashed out at him, we all felt some kind of way. I literally thought about pulling my wallet out, and everybody started taking their wallets out and giving her money as she was screaming at this guy, still saying thank you very much to everyone who, gave her an offering. And then she went on her way. So that was a really great show of compassion on the very first day of Pisces for me. Hours, just like an hour before, maybe even half an hour before the full moon went exact. Um, And so, the other thing happened after that where the guy said that he was going to shoot everybody or something like that. And it was just very crazy. And we all looked at each other. We were like, the full moon, right? So we all kind of like stayed there and we, reassured everyone that, everything was going to be okay. And it was good. Everyone was fine. But that was a full moon happening for me. That was fucking crazy. Okay? Ooh, so some of you guys are feeling restricted in terms of some things that you felt like, all the responsibilities may have been laid upon you in a certain situation, or some kind of like duty that you may have been given. It's almost like you were probably given a lot of duties within a partnership or within a collaboration, because you probably made yourself more available to do everything than you could handle. This is Saturn and Sagittarius, and it's almost like now that you're trying to see your way to the finish line of this thing or trying to complete this thing, it's a lot of tasks. Felt that I put my whole heart and soul into something and I just been broken apart. It was just played with, and I did a lot. Yeah, of course, you put so much energy into it, right? Yeah. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Yeah, it was almost like an endless amount of energy that you were putting into something that somebody probably wasn't being appreciative of. You know what I mean? Because it's like when people are like, oh well, they're excited about this, they do this well. It doesn't mean that I want to be the only one obligated to do anything, just to do everything. You know what I mean? This is somebody that feels obligated to do everything and no one is helping them. Right. I did get half of that back. Okay, that's good. Right. But this is definitely saying, ask for help. If you feel like somebody is taking advantage of your energy, or someone is taking advantage of your enthusiasm or your willfulness to sort of like help out in a situation, then you need to, speak on that. Or maybe this situation is trying to teach you something. Maybe it's saying that you're giving more of yourself than you need to a situation. You know what I mean? This also talks about, it's related to Jupiter, and this is Sagittarius. It's Saturn and Sagittarius, but the tens are related to the Wheel of Fortune, and it's talking about the expansion of something. Maybe you have too many things on your plate, and you need to let something go. And even though you're going to be letting something go, it's kind of like you just have to really discern what needs to go, right? Being practical about what needs to go, yeah, because it's Saturn. And Saturn is practical. Sagittarius isn't necessarily practical. That's how you got yourself into this mess. You took on too many responsibilities, right? That type of thing. Or this could be you being fed up with a male gentleman that been purging old and new. Mm-hmm. Yes. That's actually what you have to do. You have to purge to get the new. All right, you guys, let me go ahead and shuffle these cards, because cards have just been popping out. I see the Ace of Pentacles here for you guys. So some of you may be getting some opportunities to sort of start some things, get some things jumping off, initiating something that might be beneficial for you financially in the future. It could be business oriented, business related. It could be in like the shape of a loan, in the form of a loan perhaps. Maybe you want to get something done and you need some money or some financial support. Maybe this is going to be a little bit of a check or a bonus or something. Maybe it's a tax thing going on. Maybe you'll get more from your taxes than you anticipated. All right, so this is the last shuffle. I'm going to cut these cards and then I'm going to lay them out. I haven't even laid any cards out, but Virgo, y'all are fierce. All right. So at the bottom of the deck before I cut it, you have the Six of Wands, which, you know, the sixth house is ruled by Virgo. So this is talking about um, not just like a celebration, but this is talking about respect for someone by way of what they provide to a scenario where everyone is involved. It's kind of like a scenario of a network of people and someone really offering parts of themselves. It's like what I was saying. It's like, you know, this is kind of like the idea of what you would rather feel like rather than the Ten of Wands, right? This person took on some duties and they're being appreciated for it, they're being celebrated for it, things are working out, they feel like they can do their job well and people appreciate them. Yeah, so that's the thing. People appreciate what it is that you do. I was told to cut everything that does not serve me and everything will fall into place. Well, if something isn't serving you, then that means that it's taking place of something that will. You know, let me cut this deck. All right, so I'm doing cause and effect this month. So I'm going to lay the cards out exactly the way that I do it for that reading. I'm going to go to the present energy, then I go to the foundation of what you know you're working with, and then I'm going to take it up to the top, which is actually, you know, what you're going towards, what you don't know yet, right? That will sort of be, or the energy that hasn't played itself out yet. And then I'm going to go into the air placement, right? Which is talking about, you know, your thoughts, your communications with people, that type of thing, certain truths that might be, ways that you might be having some mental blockages or things that could be getting in the way of your, you know, your mental stability. All right, so here we go. At the bottom of the deck here, you have the Eight of Wands. That's Mercury and Sagittarius. So you guys have a lot of Sagittarius energy here. What are you guys trying to achieve? What are you trying to get done? What goal are you trying to hit? It's almost like you're really trying to hit the mark with something. You might even be promoting something. This could even be marketing, you know what I mean? Because Mercury is kind of like the planet of communication and voicing things and getting things out there by way of, you know, social media. It also is talking about, you know, just kind of promoting things. The eight is related to Leo energy, the strength card. So this is talking about having the courage, right? To take advantage of an opportunity that might involve risk. It might even have something to do with travel, or this might be, you know, an opportunity, many opportunities coming in for you to take advantage of something, and you just have to have, the strength and the courage and the willfulness to take advantage of them as they come. You know, some of these opportunities will actually, produce more things out of that. But then other ones might just be like that one opportunity that comes in. But whatever it is, I see a lot of opportunities coming in for you, and you're trying to, you're moving towards a goal, and there might be different groups of people involved. This could even be you traveling, maybe for some sort of like some reason. It could be like for like a conference, or it could be like for something that involves a group of people coming together to learn more. It's like philosophizing things, like conferences or seminars, that type of thing. You might be traveling for something like that. You're committed to your creativity as well. So whatever it is that you have to do to get yourself there, on the road to success, you're willing to do it, right? You're willing to take those risks. You believe in yourself as well. So if you believe in yourself, you're going to be able to take advantage of an opportunity more and quicker and more realistically than somebody that does not believe in themselves. So this is great. You know what I mean? At least you have that, Virgo. So let's look at the center of your reading, and this is kind of like what's going on for you right now, okay? And at the center of the reading, wow, this is amazing. I want to be a millionaire in the industry, or so does the community. Hold the head up, not be disgraced. Okay, yeah, absolutely. You don't have to be degraded. You can hold your head up. This is what I say. If you want to be something, then be that thing. Right then and there. Start now. Right? Cultivate that person. Feed that person. Feed that part of your personality that is a baby that needs to grow. you know, that type of thing. So in the center of the reading right now, just as I was talking about, it's the Hanged Man, which is Neptune, and Neptune is the higher octane of Venus. Neptune is 12, and 1 and 2 reduced is a 3. So that has to go back to this creativity that I was talking about. You might be waiting for the right moment to create something, or you might be waiting for the right moment to take action on something, you know, that involves, you know, your hand. Whatever it is, it's saying that, you know, the Hanged Man is like your illusions, it's your dreaming, it's like maybe even having like a false reality about something and needing more time to cultivate a real understanding for what something is. Because a 3 is talking about something coming into form and something coming into shape, right? So, you know, once you have a better sense of what you're working with or what you're dealing with, then you'll be a little bit more assertive, or you'll be a little bit more, you'll be less submissive, or you'll feel less of a submissive uh, energy here. But right now, I feel like you're a little bit reluctant, and it's just because you want to make the right decision. Yeah, you might be feeling like you're expanding on a thought, or you might be expanding on like a choice, right? So you might be thinking that a choice that you once had, there might be a better choice for you to make in the future. So you're holding off on that until the timing is right. Yeah? That's what I'm getting. You're sort of like waiting for some divine inspiration, but it's like you're just going to kind of like wait and see what happens. Yeah. You may have even like entered into something or entered a contest or submitted something, right? Because I did say submission. So maybe you submitted something and maybe you're waiting for that return, or you're waiting for that message or that call to come back on that thing, for some of you out there. So now, or you might be dealing with the Pisces, right? Because Neptune rules Pisces, and Venus is related to Pisces because it's exalted there. And you know, this is almost, you know, Venus as a boy. This is almost kind of like a male version of the Empress. You know what I mean? It's so weird. I've never even said that before, but I'm getting that from this. It's like, yeah, I know that there's something, you know, it's knowing when to take advantage of a situation, but then knowing that there might be a sweeter deal to make. That's why Jupiter is very significant to Pisces, because Pisces is very glamorous Venus, and then they're also very lucky. So they know a thing or two about timing, and it's that intuitive thing right there, you know, that you're tapping into because it is Pisces season. And Virgo, you just had a full moon, and the moon is related to Pisces, but right now in your seventh house of relationships here, right? There's a lot going on because the sun is there and Mercury is there, and it's going to go retrograde there. So this might have something to do with the retrograde as well. Maybe you're thinking about, you know, a situation or an opportunity that you were going to move forward on, right? And you might just be thinking that it may slow down during the retrograde, or you may be waiting until the retrograde is over in Pisces, right? For you to take advantage of an opportunity, or for you to make the move towards taking advantage of an opportunity that may have already presented itself to you, but you have the element of time on your side where you actually can wait. Okay, so the challenge is the Page of Cups. So you might be definitely dealing with a water sign, or you might be dealing with a Pisces, or there might be something going on with a Libra, or there might be something going on in your seventh house of relationships. Okay, or this person has a lot of focus in the water, in a water sign, or in Pisces for sure. Whatever it is, it's saying that you're learning something from this. Yeah, you might even be learning a thing or two about your own emotions, right, or your feelings. You might be the challenge is that you're trying to figure something out about the way you feel, you know what I mean? And maybe that is why you can't make a decision yet about whether or not you want to come down off of this, this scaffolding that the hanged man is on. Yeah, I don't think I want to call it like the gallows, but that's kind of almost what it looks like. But he's choosing to be up there, you know what I mean? It's kind of like you're like, oh, I'm sitting pretty. You're kind of perched right now, but you're looking at something and you're trying to see like what it actually means for you, how you feel about it. You're trying to see what you can maybe get out of a situation that might be challenging how you feel. Um, the pages definitely talk about phases and changes coming in. You might be embarking on a new phase of just, maybe you cleansed yourself of something. Um, some of you might even be sad about a situation. I don't know why. That's why. Maybe you guys are experiencing a slowdown just because of like some kind of like depression you might be going through. The page does have a thing or two to learn about emotions and the way that it feels and how to deal with other people and their emotions, and just being able to recognize and acknowledge when emotions are at play, that type of thing. And sometimes that's a problem for you. That is a challenge for you sometimes, Virgo, because people look at you as like just kind of like really being about like what's actually there and not really having time for that other stuff. Oh, stop dreaming and go out there and put those clothes on the dryer and make sure you have them folded up by the end of the night. It's like that type of thing, fighting through that. So it's almost like you do have to allow yourself to be led by your emotions, because we're all made of water, majority, right? We're all made out of water, mainly. So it's like the feelings that you have, like I've always said, it's like a GPS system for you. And your feelings are there to teach you something about yourself. You know what I mean? This is sort of like you reflecting on who you are, right? This is introspection on an emotional level. And there's a lot of wisdom to gain out of that self introspection, because the Saturn rules the pages. So, there are certain levels that you're going to progress through, and phases that you will get through in terms of this new, this new journey that you're embarking on. And you will come out of it feeling more dignified, a sense of like, graduation. This is almost kind of like a baccalaureate of of sorts, right? So it's kind of like an orientation by way of feeling, right? And with the pages, it's almost like the instrumentation of that suit, right? What is the instrumentation of that suit? How are you using this suit? How are you using the element of this suit instrumentally in your life, right? How is it providing you a level of service, right? Which is interesting because you're a Virgo and you're all about service. And like, if something is like, how is something honoring you in your life, in your routine? What is it providing for you that is useful, right? That's what Virgo is talking about. So if you can't really see stuff, then they don't really think that it's anything. And that's kind of crazy because there's so many things that we can't see. We can't see the air, but we're breathing. You know what I mean? Mercury, Gemini. I think those are the lungs, right? If I'm mistaken, somebody tell me. But yeah, it's like you have to acknowledge things that aren't there because they're affecting you anyway. You know what I mean? There's radiation going on. There's like magnetism going on. There's gravity. We can see gravity because we have been here and we've been manifested. So the sheer manifestation of just matter. Wow, I can't even go that deep into that. Stop. Anyway, yes, you guys are learning how to deal with your emotions, and how you feel about how other people see you, and it really is just kind of like we are mirrors, and other people are showing you things, and they're not realizing that they're showing it to you. You're seeing it because it's very intuitive, right? It's like Pisces is intuitive, Virgo is intuitive too, because you're always looking in to see what's deeper, what is actually really there. right? So then you start discovering these things and you start having these epiphanies. So then you start to relate to the experience in a way where it's like very internal, right? It's very, like I said, introspective. Um, anyway, so what you're working with here, Virgo, is wow. I can't with me. This is just too much. Not with me, but with these cards. So, at the bottom of the reading, you're working with Venus, the Empress. We already talked about how Venus was the, Venus and Neptune are related because they are, yeah, right? It's creation. It's the creativity, right? It's the, it's the formation of the understanding of something and what is needed in a situation. Uh, what and how it's going to be received. It's almost like knowing how something is going to be received and waiting for the right moment to project whatever it is that's going to be projected so that whatever that's going to be received is going to be received well, right? That's what I'm getting. This is also saying that, you're working with a very abundant atmosphere. You have a lot of things that are being provided for you. From like, your sheer existence, Mother Nature. It's like you have a lot of things around you that you can use to help you be inspired creatively. If some of you don't know what you want to do career wise, I don't have any pentacles here, but the threes are talking about cycles completing, and creativity talks about like the creative force that is inside of us, and that comes from a spiritual place. You know what I mean? Because it's like when you get to the three, that's kind of like the manifestation of something. It's kind of like, as above, so below, and so it is. That's how I see that. But this is Venus. This is beauty. This is harmony, creativity. That's what you're working with. You're probably trying to bring more harmony into your life after, some things that may have taken place. That might have been less than harmonious for you, some of you guys. Also, this is saying that you don't need someone else to complete you, right? This is saying that you have to be fair to yourself, you have to be kind to yourself. You have to understand that it's not always about what someone else needs, and that it really is about what you might need, right? From yourself. It's not about what you can it's not about what you can give someone always, Virgo. It's really about what you can give to yourself, to be honest with you. And so I feel like you giving what you can give to yourself, give back to yourself, comes through in like creative forms, like what you build, what you make, how you honor like your divine inspiration and the gifts that you've been given, the talents that you might hold. You have a wide variety of abundance that flows through you. You know what I mean? This is one of there's some vitality here for sure. There's completeness as well. And the other day when I was thinking about three, you think about 3 points, you think about 3 sides, but then when you think about a corner is actually, 3, right? So crazy. I'm looking at the corner right now, and a corner has 3 sides to it, and that's something that actually can hold something. That actually is a very complete shape. It's a complete idea, a complete understanding of something. So you yourself are complete, right? It's almost like you need to put the focus into you now. That's what you're doing. You're putting the focus into you now. And that's very important, because when we focus on ourselves, then we can help other people out later. You know what I mean? It's like put the oxygen mask on yourself first. That type of thing. It's like that scenario. You know? But some of you are pregnant with something. There's something that you guys are waiting, right? Because this is at the foundation. This is what you're working with. And then you have the 3, which is, really 12, the hanged man here. And the Page of Cups obviously as your immediate influence in the challenge. But some of you guys are waiting to probably debut something. And the Empress is definitely waiting to debut something because she's pregnant, right? That she's pregnant with something. There's something that's in production. And there's something that might, might be waiting to be shown to people. Um, and you might be feeling good about that. You might be feeling very passionate about it too, and you feel like it will definitely be received well. Let's look at the top of the reading here, Virgo. Another cardinal energy at the top of the reading. This is quite interesting and very amazing because at the foundation of the reading you have the Empress, right? She's 3. And then at the top of the reading, which is next, you have a 4, which is Venus, right? Venus in Aries. So whatever this is saying that, things are actually going to play themselves out in a way that is going to be to your liking, right? It's going to be to your successful pursuits, or your pursuits of success will definitely be reached, right? Because you do have this Mercury and Sag card here, and then you did have the King of Wands come up. It just kind of like popped up. I saw the Ace of Pentacles earlier in the reading, at the beginning. That came up. There definitely is a lot of creativity here. You're trying to celebrate yourself, right? You guys might be putting together some kind of event, or you might be helping someone. You might be collaborating with someone with an event. Also, you got Saturn and Sagittarius that popped out. That's the 10 of Wands. So that's talking about, taking on, the responsibility, or a lot of the responsibility yourself. So in terms of this event or this thing that you're trying to get off the ground, this product, this creativity, this performance, this show, whatever it is, are you singing? What is it? It's like you're putting the work in to promote this thing. You're getting the voices out there so that people hear it, and then you're waiting for the return on this thing. I don't think the retrograde is really going to hit you that hard in terms of this if it's something that you've already created. You know what I mean? You just want to be careful that somebody doesn't present you with an opportunity that sounds too good to be true, right? You know what I mean? You don't want to be taken advantage of, because this Page of Cups is here as the challenge, coming into the reading. So this is someone who might be young. This could represent you. Also, you know what I mean, because the moon was just in your sign. So just be careful with that. Don't like shit-eating grins and the salesman with the gold tooth and stuff. hmm And it's a 4, okay? So this is talking about creative structures are going to be reached, or creative structures are going to be set in place for you. It's a new foundation for creative structure, for things to be, you know, you're going to be aware of the commitment that you are making towards something, and that's going to be the goal that you're trying to reach. Sending love and light to you, Kendrick, and everyone on the live today. Oh my God, thank you, Never Saw. You're so beautiful. We love that. Yes, love and light to everybody up in here. We love it. At Layla Star. Okay, y'all, follow these people, honey. When they put that Instagram handle up, you better hit that like button. You better click on them. You better find them. Okay, you guys follow me on Instagram. I'll see you. If you talk to me and stuff like that, I'll talk to you. I send stuff to people all the time. There are people that I've never even met in person on Instagram that I send stuff to regularly. I'm not crazy. Okay, so please hit the like button. Oh, yeah, hit the like button, you guys. So, yeah, you guys are formulating new structures, this phase that's coming in. You're learning some things about it and how you feel about some things. You may change your mind about how you feel about some things because the hangman is mutable. Neptune changes things, he dissolves boundaries. So, maybe something that you thought was that never would have changed for you may change because the Empress is cardinal, with it being Libra energy. And then Venus and Mars here as the 4 of Wands, that's double cardinal energy. You know what I mean? This is also something that's been divinely like ordained, or divinely like set in place, because the 4 of Wands does have that 11-11 sort of look to it, right? Mm-hmm. New heights, reaching new heights. I love the garland, or like the, hanging over that. It's beautiful. abundance. There's love here. Beautiful. So now let's get into the elemental parts of the reading. In the air placement here, again, you have another Sagittarius card. It's the Nine of Wands, and the nines do talk about the completion of a few cycles that might be, bundled up into, to be just one experience for you. But there might be pockets within that experience that have closed themselves out as cycles. This is a Virgo energy as well, and you are a Virgo. The nines are all related to the Hermit. So there is an analysis that has been set in place. There's been some informative reasoning. There's been some informative reasoning. There's been some reasonable conclusions that have been made. And your energy is always so refreshing. Oh, thank you, Layla. AJC. I told you that always reminds me of the Atlanta newspaper, Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Anyway, this is the moon in Sagittarius, and the moon is talking about things that are hidden. It's also talking about cycles completing. It's also talking about, your dreams and just the way that you feel about things. And Sagittarius is a sign that talks about philosophies, culture, wisdom, and definitely learning through mentorship and things like that. So you may have made a realization, or you may have had an epiphany, an emotional epiphany, or an epiphany at the end of a cycle that affected you emotionally, that brought you to this end point, 9, okay, Sagittarius end point goal of making the realization, Virgo, that something needs to be guarded. Your feelings need to be guarded, and it's going to take you doing the action, creating these healthy boundaries for yourself. You're thinking about creating and setting healthy boundaries in place for yourself. You know what I mean? When you communicate with people. And when you communicate with people, you want to be very clear with them. And it's almost like you may have even communicated with someone in a way that was kind of fast, furious, maybe quick, maybe a little bit sharp tongued. Maybe it was a little bit of dogma, or maybe there was some kind of just very fiery energy to you, and maybe you affected them emotionally and now they're standoffish. Or maybe you're standoffish from someone because they may have fired back at you and it made you feel some kind of way, right? Because the hanged man is kind of standoffish, and the page of cups definitely feels some kind of way about something that they're thinking about, right? That someone or something or something in your environment is trying to snap you out of the emotional rut that you might find yourself in sometimes. Anyway, yeah, the 9, it's a completion. You're almost there. You're almost done with this feeling of separation, or having to be guarded, or having to, block somebody. Some of you may have blocked somebody on social media, right? Because, they just may have brought you to a point of being fed up about something, right? Around the full moon, because the 9s are related to the moon, because the moon is 18 in the major arcana, and 1 and 8 is 9, and that's the awareness of strength, right? um Oh, thank you. I love y'all. Thank you so much. So yeah, now your awareness of, you are focused, you are aware of the completion of something. So you are setting yourself up for that. So there are no surprises, and you might be a little bit premature in setting yourself up and getting ready for that, but it's okay. You're doing good. It's already, you have all of the information that you need. Oh, and I said, you have all the information that you need, and the High Priestess came up, which is also Pisces. I don't know Virgo and Pisces energy, it's always very intertwined, very interconnected here at Providence Tarot for some reason. But this is something being revealed, right? And it's very interesting because this is the moon in Sagittarius, and this is, the high priestess, which is the moon. Look at those crescents there. It's talking about something that's going to be revealed, Definitely after you create, you've set these healthy boundaries in place, or hopefully they're healthy boundaries. You're probably trying to set boundaries in place out of you know um, red flags, right? You might be feeling like a situation could get toxic, or like it might have gotten toxic, something like that. Thank you. That's definitely your energy. Right. Because it's like you've gone through this evolution and you've had this analysis, you've done your research, you know what you know. There's some things that are hidden that are going to be revealed. They might be revealed by you, or they might be revealed by you for someone else, or meaning like by someone else for you, to you. Something's hidden that is going to be revealed, right? And it's like making a choice, like I said, the hanged man here, making a choice to reveal it at the right time. This could be everything behind you that you're waiting to reveal. It could actually even be your creative creations or whatever it is that you're waiting to reveal. But this definitely talks about, your dreams or something like that. It's also talking about, you might be creating healthy boundaries for yourself because someone might be too much of an escapist. You know what I mean? It's almost like, because sometimes our friends are like, toxic, like I said, because of their escapism tendencies, and we just have to like create healthy boundaries against it, because we know that that type of stuff rubs off, right? Because Neptune, dissolving boundaries, right? Very easily influenced, very easily like swayed, very gullible, that type of thing. Like Pisces is very gullible. And Virgo can be gullible sometimes too, because they're mutable. You know what I mean? They're about real stuff, but they're mutable. They get bored. So anytime, they can focus on something, then, it's good. So a lot of times I feel like Virgos will end up with opportunities that kind of like fall through the cracks, like the cracks that are here in this card. You know what I mean? And you know that some things aren't meant to stay or aren't here to stay. So it's fine. But that's just what some of you are going through in your head, because this is the thought section. This is the communication section. Some of you guys are communicating by way of like divine energy, divine source in your dreams. Your subconscious is communicating with you in your dreams. You know what I mean? And it's that type of thing. And you're kind of like having these analysis, and you're going over stuff on your own with yourself. You know what I mean? It's like a one-on-one introspection. Like I said, I'm feeling a lot of introspection from you, Virgo, which is very your energy. You know what I mean? And if not your energy, it's Pisces, but in a different way. And I feel like you definitely are tapping into parts of your subconscious, because you have three water cards here. You have the High Priestess, but then you also have the Empress, which is kind of like on the other side of this curtain here, right? Because she's made of all the water, and here's that healthy stream of water flowing through, right? That's like the part of her dress. Sorry. That's like the part of her dress that's right here. Bam. Right? And there are boundaries between these two, but these boundaries are dissolved, right? Neptune, Pisces, dissolving the boundaries. Shh. Okay. Anyway, let's look at the water placement. This is going to talk about, your feelings, your emotions, your home, your family. It might have some things to do with the mother. You guys might be dealing with some other things here too, because the High Priestess is here, which is the divine feminine. So some of you might even be having dreams about your grandmother, who is your divine feminine energy, right? If she has passed away. The mom here is at the foundation of the reading. Some of you might be trying to be there for your mom, because, she is your foundation. I'm also getting, I'm also getting like a mother-father thing, right? I'm getting a good feeling out of that though, because this is a celebratory energy with the Venus and Aries energy here. But there's definitely some part of you and your mother that are tapped into some subconscious energy that might be coming to both of you in your dreams. This is just for some of you guys. Some of you Virgos might be saddened by some things that may have happened, but you're waiting to feel better about those things. And that's what I'm also getting here. There's been an evolution of emotional process and a cycle. And you're just waiting for things to get better. You know that things are going to get better, so it's almost like you're waiting for them to just be revealed to you from the universe, not anyone else, but to you from the universe, because it's been very introspective. So this isn't the time to change that. You know what I mean? The journey that you've been on has been one that you've been going on your own. So it's not you're not at the moment where anybody can come in and like change that. And I don't feel like that's happening, even though you have some Sagittarius cards here and you have Mercury in Sagittarius. I think that's information coming in to you. I don't think that that's like something changing the course of anything, right? Because you've been on this journey right now for a while with yourself, and that's why the Saturn and Sagittarius card came up at the very start of the reading, because it was echoing these Sagittarian cards here in the reading. It's like you got the first, second, and third deacon of Sagittarius. You got the Eight of Wands, which is talking about strength and courage, right? And then you got the Nine of Wands, which is talking about the evolution that comes from having that strength and courage and tapping into your vulnerabilities and understanding, that your belief systems play into your vulnerabilities and what you're able to create based on your vulnerabilities that you have created from your belief systems and your family and all that shit. You know what I mean? And then you got the Ten of Wands, which is talking about the burden of that and really needing to just let it go so that you can move forward in life, because that's what Sagittarius is about, moving forward. And for you, that's a fellow mutable sign. Sagittarius is what? Your fourth house? Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sag, right? So Jupiter right now is in your fourth house of home and family, right? And we're dealing with home and family next. That's what I'm going to flip over. And the mom rules home and family. So there are some issues around, structures of home and family, structures that, involve masculine and feminine energies, masculine and feminine energies that may have had to adapt to some changes that have occurred, that type of thing. Okay, so now let me look at home and family, which is actually where Jupiter is in our charts right now for people who have Virgo. Also, I was going to say this reading for Virgo moons, be into it. You know what I mean? Because you just had your full moon, so Virgo moons, this reading is for you as well. Okay, interpret it however you will. There might be subtleties, subtle differences that are changing. I might say, oh, this person, but you might be like, oh, it's a job. Or I might be like, oh, this job, and you might be like, actually, it's an idea that I have. That type of thing. So in your home and family placement, Virgo, Mars. Something was destroyed. I have a card of creation, and then I have a card of destruction. Because something was created, something had to be destroyed. And Mars in Capricorn is putting energy and effort and time into creating something that can be appreciated, right? It's the acknowledgement of respect for one's work, and really just kind of like tooth and nail type of thing. You might be feeling because this is the water placement. You might be feeling like you've been fighting tooth and nail for something to be created. You've been waiting for people to notice this thing that you've been building, that you've been creating, that is a part of you, that you've been working on for a long time, that is substantiating who you are as a person and where you are in your life. You know what I mean? This is, wow, look, I love these cards. This is Morgan Greer. And look, it's Three Pentacles, but then also there's a triangle going on here, you guys, which is talking about creation, rebuilding, right? But here we go. Because you about to gag. You just talked about rebuilding, right? And the home and family placement. Mars and Capricorn, right? Work, creating work for yourself. Destroying something, destruction. The tower is the effect, right? If you want to create more for yourself, you're going to have to destroy that old person that was taking away from your creativity. And that old person is an old version of you, right? Okay? For sure. Because this is how you feel right now, right? Definitely some, some the awareness of the growth of something, or how something has just gotten too oppressive for you. You are definitely going to have to recommit yourself to something in a different way, because something is being destroyed, something is being reduced to maybe like nothing for you, and you definitely are going to have to create more out of that. Or maybe you are creating more for yourself, so you have destroyed some things, or you are going to destroy some things. This is like the universe shaking things up for you, right? It's Mars, it's Aries energy, it's Scorpio energy. If it's Aries energy, it could just be like, um, it could be like maybe a creative project fell through. You know what I mean? It could be that, because the home and family is Cancer energy, and it's related to the Chariot, which is opposing um, Capricorn energy. And Capricorn loves work, and it loves to achieve things through time, effort, energy, and seeing a return on those things. So, and Cancer also does want to see a return on something, but it's a return on feeling, right? And this is really about you making money, doing work well, being appreciated for what it is that you do, because that's what gives you pride, and that's what gives you dignity, right? That's what makes you feel complete. Um, Something is going to be destroyed. I feel like you want to, or something is going to be destroyed so that something can be created, you know? This could be like people changing their website, it possibly. I mean, this could be anything. You guys might be feeling like challenged. Okay, so your emotions and the way that you've been feeling, right? The blockages, the emotional blockages that you might be experiencing might be because you're feeling challenged, um, you know, in terms of like creating more work for yourself, right? You feel like you might be feeling distraught, or you might be feeling depressed over a need to create more work for yourself to find a job, or to really have something that's going to be be settled. You know what I mean? Become a reality for you. It's not like a project, but like a job. You know what I mean? That's what some of you want, because I know a lot of times with us creative people, we get a lot of projects, and we don't necessarily get something that's consistent and with longevity. But this is saying that after something is destroyed with this tower, then you're definitely going to be able to create from that. It's really just changing. It's going to challenge your perspective after this. This is kind of like what is this, 16? This is the awareness of the first stage of the spiritual enlightenment, or this is the second stage of spiritual enlightenment, I believe. Um, and this is about your identity. Something about your identity is going to change, and it might have to do with the work, or it might have to do with a creative partner that you might be with, or something like that. Okay, so let me go ahead and flip over the cards that are over here in your earth section. So these might have to do with work, right? Or your body, your physical body, it could possibly. These readings have been getting they're like an hour long. Okay, you guys, so the Knight of Rods is here. This is Sagittarius energy as well. You guys might be really dealing with some Sagittarius energy, or you might just be dealing with home issues, right? Some of you might want to move homes, move apartments, that type of thing. because the Knight of Wands is kind of like a little bit restless and moving forward or wanting to move forward. Some of you may want to move forward and take advantage of an opportunity that might be a job. Some of you might even be like, some of you may have met someone at work and it's moving quickly. Um, that type of thing. Some of you might be adapting to some changes in terms of like, how you conceptualize things. But the Knight of Rods is double fire. So this is saying that you're putting a lot of energy, right? A lot of passion and creativity into your work, right? Which is wonderful because you do have this tower here, right? And you do have the Three of Pentacles before the tower. So this is talking about creative work, job, professional stuff, destruction. Then after that, there's quick action to move forward, right? With passion. So this could be something lighting a fire underneath you that really sets you in motion. And I don't think that you're going to be intimidated by this energy. I think this energy, people who experience this energy with you or from you, are going to feel overwhelmed. Not overwhelmed like scared, but they might be intimidated by it. Like, oh my God, you're going to take on all that? Or, oh my God, you think you're going to handle all that? You're going to be able to do all that? And you're like, yes, I'm going to be able to do all of it. I'm suited up. I'm prepared. And, whatever. I have to go for it, don't I? This is you saying I have to go for it, don't I, if I want it? Because Pentacle stuff, you do have to go for it. You have to make something happen if you want it. You can't just be sitting there thinking that it's just going to come to you, right? You have all of the capabilities and everything that you need to take forward with you to move. But it's like, you've got to go after it yourself, right? Throw that rod over your shoulder. Throw on that yellow cloak, all right? Because this has some healing to do. There's some healing to do here as well. And then this is also coming from divine inspiration as well. This blue, this is like also like throat chakra, I believe, the blue. You know what I mean? So that's speaking the truth. The Knight of Rods is Sagittarius energy, very fiery, and Sagittarius loves to speak their truth. So this is you speaking truth about something that you know that you want, right? That you're not willing to back down from. And wild horses. What is that song? Wild Horses? I don't even know the key to that shit, so I'm not even going to try to sing it. But yes, mutable fire. And that's Jupiter, right? Jupiter's in Sagittarius for you. This is being able to move forward. Maybe some of you are going to move quickly into a new home or a new apartment, right? You do have Mercury and Sag. Maybe an apartment becomes available for you. I was just about to ask the name of the song. Oh my God. Wild Horses. Yeah, that's what it's called. And Wild Horses. What movie is that from? That's from that movie with Reese Witherspoon, right? When she was being like controlled by her boyfriend, who was kind of hot. Okay, you guys, so Knight of Rods, mutable energy, wanting to move forward with something quickly and determined and very absolute. Yes, I love that you guys are so positive. You are sending love and light to each other while I'm giving these messages. I'm living for that energy. I love it. Virgo. Shout out to my angels, all my Virgos out there that have passed, that are family members to me, that I love. Shout out. Yes! Explosion of love. Yes, speaking our truth, never saw. Explosion of love, honey. Okay. So, the effect of you guys moving forward passionately with something and not being swayed, not letting anyone get in your way. Here we go. Whoa. This is really good, Virgo. I'm living for you and your energy right now because I was talking about stability. I was talking about comfort. I was talking about money. I was talking about the destruction of something in terms of work and you putting aggression into work, and maybe that ended for you. Maybe some of you were let go by your boss or something. Or maybe, like that type of shit happened and it affected you emotionally, and the destruction of that made you want to move forward quickly with something. You did. You found something quick. You found a job quickly, right? You got into that groove of being focused on being committed to yourself and what you're able to build that's going to be solid for you. Four of Pentacles, Sun, and Capricorn, right? Right now, Saturn is there, Pluto is there. If some of you, none of you are having a Pluto return, hopefully. And if you're not, I want to know what you're drinking, what you're eating, what you're putting on that face. But some of you are having a Saturn return, and Saturn is in Capricorn right now, and you might just be feeling that energy of really working, you know? Tell my whole story, right, Kesha? Praying. Okay, anyway. So yeah, you are focused, you are aware of what it's going to take, right? It's like you are your own resource for moving forward. Definitely. You are your best asset and you are your best resource. And in some cases, you are your only. You are your only commitment too. Right? Can you see the Roman numeral? The one eye, the focus, right? The awareness of the commitment that you have to yourself and creating your own stability, right? And I was talking about the crown chakra, honey. That pinnacle at the top is almost like a halo over that head. Okay? I can see a halo. Halo. Right. It is a very third eye card. Because there's a little bit of a medallion right here over that third eye. I know what I need to do. All right, Virgo. I'm living. Oh. You guys have the Magician, which is Mercury, in your fire placement. And that is fierce. The Magician, I have that card here because as you guys know, third eye stay popping, right? As you guys know, that when I discovered tarot, there was only months that went by that I found 2 tarot cards on the ground, and I have them here just to give off my energy. And one of them is the Magician, right? So this is a card that actually found me in my life, and it's with me all the time. I'm actually a 1. I was born on October 1st, and here is your Magician card in your fire sector, which is where you're going to spend your creativity. And didn't I just talk about you were your best resource? Right? Didn't I say that? You're your best asset? And this is the supreme person who knows what resourcefulness is about. Being resourceful, using their resources. They have all the resources here, honey. Right? This is you having what it takes. If you weren't here on earth, if you were dead, then you wouldn't have what it takes and no one else would have what it takes because you wouldn't even be questioning if what it took if your ass was dead. Okay? So you're here. So you have what it takes because you're fucking here. Okay? So get out there and do it. I need to be telling myself that with Mars at 0 degrees of Virgo, which was conjunct this full moon, and Mercury at 19 degrees. Okay? I'm not mad at y'all. I'm just saying, y'all have it. Virgo has what it takes. And you need to be doing what you're good at, okay? You better be doing what you're good at, Virgo. Because if I find out that you're trying to do something that you ain't good at, I'm going to read you. I'm just kidding. I'm going to read you cards. No, yeah, this is knowing what you're good at, okay? You definitely have to know and be aware of that, for sure. Because then you get, well, okay, wand, because then you get more out of that experience, right? When you know what you're good at, then as above, so below, honey. Anything is possible, right? Anything is possible, Virgo. And you can make it happen for yourself. Just stay determined and stop getting tripped up by things that don't work out. I mean, you are the queen king of being adaptable to actual things that don't work, right? Real talk, the real. I know that you are good at what you do. Who said that? Me? Oh, thank you, baby. I hope I didn't say that. But I'm just saying, like, right. Oh, you're saying you hope that everybody who does something that chooses to do that thing is good at it. Me too. Okay, so yeah, the magician is wonderful. Just make sure that you are aware of people who might be liars and cons, okay? Be aware of what you have to offer to bring to a situation, and also be aware of how you can help yourself, that other people might be able to help you, but if you can do it yourself, then do it, okay? Because this person definitely wants to do it themselves, and so does Sag. You know, they want to do it themselves, but they can learn stuff from other people, but they want to do it themselves, okay? Really. Um, so now there really is no outcome card in this reading. I am going to pull out the last card, but the fire placement is kind of like the last energy that we're sort of like, putting passionate force into. Work. You got the magician, okay? Which is number one major arcana, okay? Then you got the Judgment card, which is number 20, which reduces to a 2. So you got 1 and 2, right? Which is actually a 3, which goes back to your Empress, which goes back to that Hanged Man, which is going back to the creativity, creative energy. This is Pluto as well. Pluto is talking about, death and rebirth. And this is the atonement of something. So you guys might be atoning for something, or you might just be feeling the energy in the universe is atoning for you out of a scenario or out of a circumstance or out of something that played out for you, right? I also am seeing that you guys have just become more aware of something like twice over. It's like a cycle completed itself, and there was something for you to learn out of the completion of that cycle, and that learning has completed itself. And now you guys are feeling like you don't need to hold on to something that might have been holding you back. You don't feel the asphyxiation of your fear anymore. You don't feel held back by, discouragement. You don't feel like you don't have the ability to make choices because you are being oppressed by something in terms of work, or or creativity might have been being oppressed, right? This is the freedom now to create. This is what I'm getting. This is the freedom to be creative. This is the freedom to feel like something else is coming into formation for you out of something that you once had, something that you once were, something that you once believed in, something that you once held on to. You know what I mean? Pluto is the higher octane of Mars. And, Mars is in your reading here next to the Three of Pentacles. This is talking about old ways, right? Because Pluto is talking about destruction, death, destruction, purification, detoxification. Like we were talking about toxicity at the beginning of the reading, the middle of the reading, throughout the reading. And this is releasing toxic, energy, right? The awareness of the release of the toxic energy. The awareness, right? The focus of making a choice to set yourself free from something, right? That was kind of holding you back from experiencing like the joys of life. Realizing how something was keeping you sort of bottled up, captive, you know, sealed off from people. Yes, I feel limited to my ability to work as well. I'm fine tooth combing everyone and everything. Yeah, go through that fine tooth comb, honey. Here's a fine tooth comb for you. Afro pick, right? Fine tooth comb, honey. Here's another fine tooth comb for you. Okay? So you guys are creators, right? When I think of Virgo, I think of Earth. I think of Gaia as well. I think of the processes that have gone on Earth for us to sort of be here now. That's an Oasis album. Um, Virgo, I'm living for your energy. I love you guys. I'm sending blessings your way. I will say, embrace the newfound stability that's being created out of the destruction from the tower here. Understand that there's more for you to appreciate out of this destruction. There's atonement here, there's a rebirth here. And there's some initiations that are going on, and there's going to be some new communications, the start of new communications that's going to, catapult you and send you into this new place with someone, something, somewhere. It could be a person, place, or thing for many of you guys. Just definitely be aware of what you are meant to, what the universe is calling on you to access from these energies, right? And what are you accessing that you're able to appropriate in your life, and to bring about change, because this is about change here. The page of the cups is bringing about change. The tower is bringing about change. The empress is initiating, creating things, that are going to bring about change out of them just, being created. The mutable energy of Sagittarius in your reading is always in encouraging change, right? And direction. So we're talking about that as well, Virgo. I love you guys so much. Shout out to my sisters. Both of them are Virgos. If you're watching this, shout out to all of my relatives that are Virgos. All of my friends. Love y'all. My exes. Bye, Virgo.